Hello, and welcome to the Millie Life. My name is Danielle. I am the owner of the Millie Life and the Millie Life YouTube channel. I am so excited that you are here. If you are new to the channel, I post new motorcycle videos every Thursday, so make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you do not miss out. Below, I've got my link to all my Millie Life gear. Check that out. Links to all my recording and riding gear. I don't post anything that I don't use and love. If you want more of the Millie Life, you can follow us on all the social medias at the Millie Life. Don't put those spaces in there. Check us out. Today, we are talking about anxiety and how much it sucks, and something that has really helped me. So, let's go. Man, it is beautiful out. The colors of the leaves are all changing. It's been kind of cold in Virginia the past week or so. During the day, it's like 70s, 80s, and sunny. I can get down with that. Today, we are talking about anxiety and why it sucks, and something that I've found that has really helped this particular bout of anxiety. I don't know about you guys, but for me, mine comes in bouts. And when I have more stressful things, whether it's good stress, bad stress in my life, the more anxious I tend to get. I have taken medication. That is a huge helper, and don't be ashamed to say that you need the help and you need the support of medication. There is nothing wrong with that. There are people that are on that for a lifetime, and then some that go on it for a little bit during a particularly tough period of their life, and then they go off. Or like me, I've been off and on them since my 20s. No shame in that. One of the resources that I found that helped a ton is a book. If you've seen my other video, I definitely love a good self-help book. It's just my jam right now, and that's what I enjoy reading. This book is called Needing to Know for Sure. This spoke so clearly to my anxiety, what was at the root of it that I could never seem to get to before. Let me lay the situation here. My anxiety comes in the forms of intrusive thoughts. An intrusive thought can be anything that it kind of makes you feel icky, or you go like, what the fuck was that? Like, that was really fucking weird. Why am I thinking that? Then my coping mechanism until now is to identify it as anxiety, just praying and hoping that it'll go away and I'll forget about it. If any of you have ever had an intrusive thought or something that you don't want to think, they don't just go away. So like right now, don't think about a blue truck. Don't do it. Like, what pops into your head immediately, right? That's where I was getting really stuck and really anxious, because thinking like, man, I'm a horrible person for thinking these things. I found this book on Amazon. I downloaded the intro of it to my Kindle app and read that, and I was hooked. The book, it talks about all the different types of intrusive thoughts. 97% of the population has had or has intrusive thoughts. There are just more people that are more sensitive to them and think more about them than the average population. Somebody who doesn't have anxiety may have one of those thoughts and just be like, that was weird. And then they don't think about it again, and it just kind of slips away from their consciousness. For someone who has anxiety and intrusive thoughts and tends to overthink, these thoughts get really sticky in your brain, and you want them gone, right? The book gives a ton of examples. That, first and foremost, is so comforting, because I think a lot of times, at least for me with mental health, I think I'm the only one that goes through these things. I know a lot of people do that. They see people on Instagram, they see people in person and think, man, they must have a perfect life. They don't deal with anxiety. They don't deal with depression. They don't deal with these kind of things. And it's just not true. That's why I'm talking about it, right? To, be out there like, hey, yeah, I suffer from these things for sure. I have a hard time with these things for sure. That was the first comforting piece of the book, was seeing all the examples of intrusive thoughts and how they appear, and he breaks them down into 4 major categories. Some example in there that you can relate to, or they're describing the very exact thought that you're having. That was incredibly comforting. It teaches you a method of how to deal with it. The big turning point for me was the statement, I'm having a hard time because I'm anxious about this. When really the anxiety was caused by, I'm having a hard time with these intrusive thoughts because I don't know for 100% certainty that they are not going to happen. This is a hard turn. All right, here we go. Right? The only thing guaranteed in our life, 100% sure, is death. Everything else, we live on, 99%, 90%, good enough. We don't know for sure that in the morning when we go down and start our car that all 4 tires haven't gone flat overnight. There's no way to guarantee that. There's no way to be 100% sure. It can be 99.9% sure, but not 100% sure. It's part of the human experience. Identifying that my anxiety was not the subject matter, because it's taken many forms. Usually for me, it's my romantic relationships, because those are things that I hold near and dear to my heart, especially Matt. So for you guys, if you experience anxiety, if you experience this, it tends to be about something or someone that you care immensely about. Realizing that it was the uncertainty of it that was causing my anxiety and not the thought. Because if any of you have had anxiety, you know that shit is going to come back in a different form about something completely different, and it can change day to day. Identifying at the base of it that the uncomfortableness with uncertainty, which was what was driving my anxiety, was a huge revelation for me. They teach the process, which I'll go over in a minute. If you look back on your life and you look back on your periods of higher anxiety, at least for me, all of them had the common element of uncertainty. My mom even recalls, as a little kid, I would have the worst time deciding to go to the grocery store with my mom or stay at home with my dad. And I would flip back and forth between the two, wanting to make the best possible decision and wanting to know for sure that I was making the right decision. So it's a sensitivity that was built into me from a young age. I don't know if it was genetics or part of my upbringing or what, but that just really clicked for me. He and I think there's a lady that's writing it too. It's co-written by 2 therapists. I believe the guy is the one who founded the American Association for Anxiety. Oh, that was bumpy. They identify the acronym DEAF, how to deal with these thoughts. DEAF stands for distinguish. So you identify that it is an intrusive thought, that it is a false thought, and that there's no imminent danger. That's really important to identify. E is for embrace the feeling. A lot of times when I have anxiety, I just want to feel better. I just don't want to feel that. It feels terrible. It feels like an ice pick in my chest, and I can't think about anything else. Get on over on your side of the road, please. Thank you. Embrace the feeling and tell yourself, I can handle this. I can handle this uncertainty. I can survive this uncertainty. Here's the big piece that resonated with me. Avoid reassurance traps. They go over examples of reassurance traps in the book, so quite a few of them, to help you identify them in your life. But for me, when I had anxiety, I would chronically Google. I'd Google what I was thinking or how I was feeling and hope that there was something out there that would make me feel better. It would make me feel better for a little bit, but the next morning, the next hour, something would trigger the anxiety. I'd be right back into it, right? So it was just a temporary fix. And this is actually what perpetuates the cycle, is seeking reassurance that, this isn't going to happen, or you are a good person, or whatever it might be. You give the negative reinforcement by seeking reassurance, and so it just reinforces the cycle, and it continues, and it is grueling, and it is terrible. Avoiding the need for reassurance. I think the 2 most common ones were Dr. Google. like a partner or a friend or a parent, calling and having them talk you down and being like, no, of course you don't want to do that. Of course you don't think those things, and getting your reassurance from there. Having to basically sit in the uncertainty of it, really embrace it on your own that you can handle this. F is float. They give the example of a cork floating in the water in the ocean. The cork, even if it gets hit by a wave, it'll go under, but it'll pop right back up. Kind of just floats. This is also what they coined as therapeutic surrender, kind of just surrendering, like, okay, it's going to be there, that's fine. I'm just going to go about my day and know it's going to be there, but I'm just going to float or surrender around it. Also talk about exposure therapy, which you can do on your own. Some of the great examples that they give was you're sitting there, you imagine that a spider is crawling on your arm. You are not allowed to look down at it. You are not allowed to hit it away. You just have to sit with the uncertainty of not knowing where that spider is or where it's going, if it's still on you. And that didn't feel good at first. The one that really drove me crazy, but I was really proud of myself, was you sit just by yourself and you see where you have an itch on your body. It may take, it may be immediate, it may be a couple minutes, but as soon as you identify it, like, you are not allowed to scratch that itch. And it is so freaking hard, right? Because all you want to do is just scratch it, and it's just killing you. So those are two great examples. And then just exposure to the thought that you are having. Sitting there and being like, let's see, like, I'm 110%. I will never be 100% sure that I turned my straightener off when I left the house. Or I will never be 100% sure that my motorcycle is always in perfect working condition. Just sitting with that uncertainty. And what happens over time, the more you do this, the easier it gets, is you notice just how silly your thoughts are and how they don't freaking matter. They talk about that in the book, where thoughts kind of come from, and it's just like it's a neural response. It's a pathway that you've built in your brain that just kind of fires, and it means absolutely nothing. And obviously the book goes a lot more into depth, but I'm just giving you guys a synopsis from it. I've linked the book below. It's called Needing to Know for Sure, and you can get it on Amazon. It comes in Kindle, hardback. I believe it even comes on Audible if listening to books is your jam, but check it out. It seriously saved my butt, because anxiety sucks. It really freaking sucks. It can steal a lot of joy from your life, and I know, like, a lot of people will be like, just stop thinking that way. Well, that's not very helpful. Because if I could stop thinking that way, don't you think I would? It was a great read. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Leave in the comments below some of your favorite tips and tricks for dealing with anxiety. Do you have a book that's a must read that definitely changed how you looked at things? Is there a practice that you do in your daily life that helps? Let me know below. Update on the weighted blankets. They never shipped, so my mom had to replace the order, so have not gotten to experience those yet. Deo boy is crushing his sleeping. He's going to sleep on his own with me just holding his hand, and then at night he little ninja crawls into our room and goes back to sleep. So it is fantastic, and I'm so freaking proud of him, and we're getting sleep. That's always amazing. 17 days, woo, until our wedding. I'm so freaking pumped, and I'm just hoping it's not frigid. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's been in the 40s here in the mornings and nights, and then 70s during the day. It looks like the spot where we're getting married is dipping down into a period of low of 30s at night and 40s and 50s during the day. So it will be interesting to see what we get. Hopefully it stays dry, no snow, no rain. 17 days, woohoo! Could not be more excited. But again, check that book out. Needing to Know for Sure. I'll link it below. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot about this. The Millie Life hit 300 subscribers today. Woohoo! Fuck yes! I am so freaking pumped. Again, thank you to this community. Thank you to everyone that subscribes, comments on the videos. You guys freaking rock. And I am so excited to see where this channel goes. And yeah, if you guys have any videos that you want to see, post them in the comments below. We'll try to get those together before the riding season ends in Virginia. Because it is cold when you get moving. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. I'm Danielle. This is the Millie Life. And until next time, I'll see you guys real soon. Bye!